afternoon, friends. I'm back a couple days late, but here, finally. Pisces, quarter moon, waxing, building to the full moon in Gemini, and I've got my Beauty Botanica hoodie, representing the Bruja block always. Check out Beauty Botanica for your hair needs because she's the best. Keeps my purple in check. And does hair for all of the beautiful brown queers around, and it's a blessing, so check her out. And I pulled some cards for the Pisces quarter moon. I've been going through a lot, as I have alluded to. It's my birthday week, and also there's a thief in my house, and I don't know what to do about it, so I'm telling y'all because it's about to go down when I figure out who the fuck it is. But anyways, sidebar, bringing it back to where we're at right now. I want to start with so we've got the turquoise card, Father of Wands, and the spider. Okay, before I get into this, I just want to talk about when we're in community with each other and we're working on transformative justice that isn't punitive, that isn't carceral, that isn't like a police. I don't want to be a police officer. I don't want to be a police officer. I don't want to have to be put in that position in a space where I'm supposed to feel safe and confident that I can trust the people around me. This is the whole reason I live in a collective. This is the whole reason I do what I do and I stay where I am. This is the whole reason I'm not living in New York right now, why I'm here in San Francisco. Now, when we gather people together, things happen. It doesn't matter necessarily the story right now because I don't really want to go into it. I'm gonna start crying. I'm trying to do this cute, comfy, high femme thing. I don't need this in my life, this negativity. But I will say, how do we hold each other accountable? How do we protect the most vulnerable members of our community? And when an invasion of trust happens in a attemptedly tight-knit community, how do we handle this together? What do we do? Then that brings me to these cards. We've got the Father of Wands. I want to talk about that one first. This beautiful king cobra-like snake holding his wand with the lightning coming down behind him. And this is a fire card, so it has to do with your sacral chakra, kundalini energy, like your sexual energy, the energy that drives you to get up in the morning and do anything. This card, King, is the masculine active aspect, the ascended masculine active aspect. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Of the fire element. So it's being able to know exactly where to put your energy and how to direct it specifically, pointedly, and with care and understanding of how it affects the whole. And I think that what we all need to know right now is that we have more power to push whatever the narrative is that we want to see in the world. But we have to take that power. We have to accept that we have that power and we have to utilize it. It's very important that we understand that we are powerful creatures, that we are setting the tone for our reality, despite what the news, social media, whatever wants you to think. We're setting the tone for our reality. We have to take things as they come because obviously we can't control the world. The world exists and happens regardless of what we want or how we want to control it, as in this situation. But we have a choice of how we will react, how we will work together with our people, how we will direct our energy. My personal thing, Sag, Aries, I want to fight. I want to fight. My first inclination is burn the place down. And I have to remind myself that that is not going to be the most powerful use of my energy. I have to take my body into account, take into account the reason why I'm late for this right now is because I couldn't move. I couldn't clean my room. I couldn't do anything because I was depressed. I was sad. I couldn't believe that this is where we are in our collective situation. And I had to take the time to contain my energy and to focus it into something that is more useful, not just for myself, but for all of these people that I care deeply about. So the Father of Wands is like, hey, you have this fiery energy in you, whoever you are, even if you're not like super fiery like me, you have a fiery, creative, directive energy in you. And it is your job to utilize that in the best way for you. I can't tell you what the best way for you is. Only you know the best way for you. But it's time to use your energy and direct it in a functional way that is going to be beneficial to you and the environment and community around you. Second, turquoise, spiritual empathy. So this is a blue card, but it's a pale blue card. So I'm thinking crown chakra and throat chakra. Throat chakra being the pressure release valve of all the other chakras. Crown chakra being the openness to the spirit realms, ethereal realms, whatever, like your guides, those who stand with you. So this card, spiritual empathy, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. How do we handle situations like this? How do we call people in instead of jumping to the fight, jumping to war? Because war is patterned in us, particularly in the United States of America. Like this whole thing that we're standing on is based on war, murder, and destruction. And we've also accumulated a lot of wealth in the way and a lot of privilege in doing all of those murderous things. But I don't want to be a cop. I am not anybody's motherfucking cop. I'm not a cop. I'm not here to put somebody in jail, even though they have harmed us directly and repeatedly. How do we have empathy and open ourselves to the spiritual guidance that allows us to move through these situations and to speak our truths and allow others to have their truths and to find the common ground so that we don't just explode, so that this whole 17 years worth of a collective doesn't just implode on itself because we can't trust each other. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I'm saying that I finally took care of my physical body and my emotional body enough to where I could cleanse my space so that I could come back and do these cards for everybody, which is helpful for me and hopefully helpful for other people. But the point is like, how do we allow spirit to guide us into what is right? What is the right position for us to be in from this point forward? Allow yourself to speak on it too. Like, it was really interesting that I finally got around to sitting with my spirits and having conversation, and they kept bringing up like lichen to me, like the moss that grows on the rocks and the trees in the forest. And then I woke to lovely Flo.glow, at Flo.glow. Check her out because she's amazing. She's in New York, but she's here right now. She sent me a message, and the first thing that pops up is like a bowl full of lichen. And I'm like, look at you. Look at synchronicity coming back the second that I go back to talking to my ancestors, because I hadn't done it for a long time. I hadn't talked to my spirits because I was too overwhelmed by everything. But then the second that I get back into the flow of magic, it's all right there for me. Everything that I need, all of the lessons that I need. I'm still like looking into this lichen thing and how they tend to attach to dead trees or dead branches or things like that, and they only grow in like situations where the air is not polluted because they're very sensitive. It takes them a long time to grow. They're seen as parasitic, but there's more to them than that. There's a duality. There's the fact that they're taking up the space from the sunlight that is available, and they're helping decompose this thing and send nutrients into the ground. It's all connected, and I am starting to understand that this situation, for whatever reason, had to happen, and we had to go through this so that we could learn what needs to be done in a situation like this. Again, I don't know what that is yet because we're still heavily in the midst of it, but we're working on it, and we're working on it with spiritual empathy, and we're going to speak our truth for sure. Last, spider. Classic spider card. And I love how this, like, there's synchronicity in the colors. There's some blue in here, but then there's the red and orange like that, and I just love stuff like that. And so this spider. So spider, yes, you know, weaving the web, setting the trap for what it is that you want. And it brings me back to that message of, like, really taking into accountability our manifesting power. Like, whatever it is that we want to see, we have to weave it into existence. We have to will it to be. We have to understand that if things get destroyed, we go out and we make a web somewhere else, because we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop weaving. We're not going to stop believing that we are creating our reality, that we are putting in the work that is necessary for our reality to come to fruition, for the reality that we want to see, not what is prescribed to us, but what we want to see. So breathe that in. Breathe in the fact that you are the spider. You are weaving the web. You are the one with the power to create the situation that you want to see. You're the one that is able to draw what you need to you. The spider, some spiders hunt, I think. This is not that spider. This is the spider that is building a web and allowing the food to come to them, and then they grab it. You know, like, I'm not trying to, like, sit here. I keep relaying things back to my situation, so pardon me, but I'm not trying to sit here and go striking at people when I don't know. I've been trying to gather facts for days now, and I'm more confused than I was in the beginning. And I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to build my web and work with those who want to build webs with me. And then we're going to let it come into our laps. We're going to let this situation play itself out one way or another. Consequences will be happening. We don't know what they are necessarily yet. But we know that we're the archetypes of our reality, that we're weaving the web. So with that, happy quarter moon. It might actually be in Aquarius now, but still Pisces for me, because this is the Pisces energy that I'm working through these cards. So blessings to you all. Thank you for sitting with me again. And I will see you at that Gemini full moon.